I'm back again, twice in one weekend. So, thanks again for listening. Hope you had a great one. This time, I actually wanted to post something positive. However, I once again had the nerve to step outside my four walls. And the only positive thing I could say is that I'm positively disappointed. But you all probably know that already. I went to Walmart, which I try not to do. Not really a big fan of big box stores. I'd rather support the locals, the local mom and pops. Anyway, there were hordes of people from every imaginable background you can think of. But America is a melting pot. And so that fact did not, in fact, faze me. What did faze me was how people from all walks of life who came here, whether recently or a long time ago, came here for a better life. Let me reiterate that. A better life. Did I say that loud enough? Better life. But instead, it seems to me that everyone, whether they were born here, immigrated, or were ushered in under the cloak of night, are not interested in a better life or in bettering themselves, but rather in imposing on society at large lower standards and a lesser way of life. The very life people who came here, whether a long time ago or recently, tried to escape, now becoming the norm. In reality, they did not escape the poverty and devastation they came from, but rather brought it with them, and now expect us to alter our lifestyle to accommodate the very lifestyle they came here to get away from. Irony, anyone? When? When did it become okay and acceptable for women to leave the house looking so unfeminine and unkempt? No, I don't put the same effort into myself as I did when I was 20, but still. When did it okay for people to leave their home looking so slovenly and out of shape, especially the men? So unmanly. And I don't mean that in the sense that they look or act feminine, but rather just their overall sloppiness, smelliness, scruffiness, and apathy. When did such men and women become acceptable or attractive to the opposite sex? When did it become okay for men to walk around wearing Crocs, long shorts, and flip-flops, and stained t-shirts all year round? And women heading out to the store in sweatpants, Lululemons, and pajama bottoms, ragged t-shirts, wrinkled hoodies, and slippers to boot. Listen, I love the MyPillow guy as much as the next guy and his products. But I think wearing his slippers in public does not show support for the man or his product, nor patriotism for a patriot or for our nation. But instead, it exemplifies apathy, poor taste, and poor judgment. When did chic get replaced by psychotic, making self-mutilation the new it thing and the current trend? I can remember when the workforce implemented casual Fridays. That was the it thing back then. But that definition meant khaki pants and polo shirts rather, for men. Perhaps slacks and a nice t-shirt with a blazer for ladies. Not sweatpants, Lululemons, and or pajamas and slippers, or Crocs, or flip-flops at the office. Personally, I don't even understand pajama day at an elementary school level. Although to some extent, perhaps it may be a fun thing and I can make exceptions for the youngsters. But again, I would ask, what are we teaching them? What are we teaching youngsters about etiquette, dignity, class, and protocol? Remember, there's an old adage that notes that what you learn as a child or youngster is hard to let go of as an adult. Still, I'm not so sure that that adage is entirely true either, because, well, once upon a time in America, we had dignity. a dignity that we seem to give up as we, the people in the nation, have matured. In fact, we've gone backwards rather than forwards. If you ask me, we need to once again start leading by example. An example we can be proud of. We need to bring back some of the hardcore rules, regulation, and guidelines of yesteryear. It should be mandatory. Yes, I said mandatory, that our children have a dress code, even at public schools. And uniform should be considered for both public and private academia. We also need to mandate, yes, again, I use the word mandate, a specific dress code for adults who don't seem to know better, especially in an on-premise work environment. I would even go as far to say that even if you work from home, you at least need to be neat and clean, even if it's track pants and a t-shirt, and not, let me rephrase that, not be in your pajamas, especially if you're going to be on or take a Zoom call. No one wants to look at any employee, regardless of age, education, etc., in their PJs, despite their ability to work from the comfort of their home. They should look like they're capable of doing the job, neat, clean, and well kept. Stores should also go back to basics and implement a certain attire for shoppers and patrons. No sandals, no pajamas, no tank tops, no belly shirts, no bathing suits. And if you're going to a fine dining establishment, we need to go back to requesting, not suggesting, but demanding a tie and jacket for the men and elegant ensembles for the ladies. Churches are also guilty and also need to get serious. From the pastor to those sitting in the pews, no one, regardless of how contemporary your congregation is, no one should be preaching from the pulpit in jeans and a t-shirt, especially in ripped jeans and a t-shirt, noting that God doesn't care. And the congregants should also not be allowed. Yes, I said not be allowed to enter the house of God unless they are dressed accordingly and appropriately. There are plenty of thrift stores for those who are less fortunate, and plenty of people willing to help. You can't use the excuse that God doesn't care. That's a poor excuse for your lack of caring and hygiene and your lack of class. Maybe God truly doesn't care, but the pastor and his followers should. Dressing up for God is the least people can do to show their reverence and respect, something we seem to have lost in every aspect of life. If we cannot and do not care to show respect and reverence to God, then why would we show respect to anyone else or in any other situation? Disrespecting God simply opens Pandora's box to disrespecting ourselves, disrespecting others around us, and disrespecting society as a whole. We have not only bent the rules, but we have broken all the rules. And we are now and will continue to pay the price. We have not evolved. Instead, we have devolved and are now currently living in a shallow existence akin to that of Neanderthals. And history will mock us. It will mock our disillusionment, and it will mock our apathy and our stupidity. These are truly sad times and not times to be proud of. Listen, I'm a mature adult, but I fear most for my son and the rest of our children.